She's so fine. Hell of a hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Monday, March the 13th, 2023. It is around 9 p.m. local time here for me, but I had to do this story because I wanted to get it out. And thank you to Sarah for sending it to me. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into it. The story is coming out of Mississippi. A black man was found dead after he told his mother he was being chased. Police said there's no reason to suspect foul play. Of course not. The family of a black man who was found dead in Mississippi after he warned his own mother that he was being chased by white men hurling racial slurs demanded a federal investigation today after local authorities said they had, quote, no reason, end quote, to suspect foul play in the man's death. Rasheem Carter, 25, was reported missing October the 2nd of 2022 after his mother said he had sought help from police and frantically called her to say white men in 3 trucks were pursuing him. That was the last day Rasheem Carter's family heard from him. On November the 2nd of 2022, authorities said they found his remains in a wooded area south of Taylorsville, Mississippi. In a statement on Facebook a day later, so November the 3rd, the Smith County Sheriff's Department said it had no reason to believe foul play was involved, though the case was under investigation. Today, Rasheem Carter's loved ones and their attorney, Ben Crump, slammed local authorities for stonewalling them for more than 4 months and for the initial determination, saying they believe Rasheem Carter was the victim of a brutal hate crime. This was a nefarious act. This was an evil act, Crump said at a news conference. Somebody murdered Rasheem Carter, and we cannot let them get away with this. Ben Crump urged the Justice Department today to take over the investigation as a civil rights case, as he revealed photographs of Rasheem Carter's skeletal remains, including his skull and some vertebrae. This was not a natural death, Ben Crump said. This represents a young man who was killed. Ben Crump told reporters that he believes Rasheem Carter's head was severed from his body and that his spinal cord was found in another location away from his head. There is nothing natural about this. It screams out for justice, Ben Crump said. What we have is a Mississippi lynching. Rasheem Carter's front teeth were missing from the top and bottom rows, which his family said could indicate that he was assaulted before he died. It's unclear what prompted authorities to search the wooded area or what led them to determine initially that foul play was not suspected. The Smith County Sheriff's Department did not reply to requests for comment. Of course they didn't. The Laurel Police Department, which put out Carter's missing persons report, worked on the case early on after Rasheem Carter's family asked for assistance, Chief Tommy Cox told NBC News. But Chief Cox said that Rasheem Carter had not contacted his department for help before he went missing, and that the Laurel Police Department handed its investigation over to the Smith County Police Department once it was clear it was outside of their jurisdiction. Chief Cox said his department pulled some phone records and may have interviewed some of Rasheem Carter's co-workers, but he declined to elaborate further. We tried to put ourselves in their shoes. It didn't hurt us to do a little bit of work on it, Cox said. We did what we considered to be the right thing, and then when it became obvious which jurisdiction would be the lead, we turned it over to them. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, which is assisting the sheriff in its probe, said Rasheem Carter's autopsy was completed on February the 2nd of 2023, but they declined to comment further, citing the, quote, open and ongoing investigation, end quote. The FBI is not currently involved in the case. 3 members of Carter's family said authorities told them wild animals may have torn his body apart. He was in so many different pieces, said Yokina Anderson, a cousin to Carter's mother, Tiffany Carter. They wanted to tell us that he went there and fell dead and the animals were feeding off of him. But Rasheem Carter's mother said that her son was lucid about the threats he faced during their final phone calls, and that he was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol and had no history of mental illness. She had doubts her son's death was an accident even before she saw where his remains were even found. When I went on the scene, the Holy Spirit hit me and said, "This is foul play," she said. I knew then somebody had done something to him. Rasheem Carter was a welder from Fayette, Mississippi. But he was in Taylorsville, which is approximately 100 miles away from his home, working a short-term contracting gig. His mother said he was saving money to reopen his seafood restaurant, which closed during the pandemic and which was named after his 7-year-old daughter, Callie. That was his goal, she said. That was why he went back out to work. But while he was at the job site in October, he had a disagreement with at least one co-worker and fled, fearing for his life, his mother said. He said, "I got these men trying to kill me," his mother recalled him saying. She advised Carter to go to the nearest police station for help, that eventually lost contact with him. Carter's family and friends led their own search parties until his remains were discovered. "I never imagined going on living without my child," Tiffany Carter said. "When I lost my son, I lost a part of me." Carter's loved ones said he worked hard to provide for his daughter, paid for her private school tuition, and made his friends and family proud. He kept all his promises, Callie's mother, Justice White, said. He called every day. They stayed on the phone for hours like teenagers. Every day she brings him up. Tiffany Carter pledged to continue fighting for answers. "They thought this was going to be a child no one cared anything about," she said. "They're clearly mistaken because he was somebody." This is a very, very sad affair. Now, I do want to thank Sarah again for sending this to me because I had not heard anything about it. I'm sure this is going to be a big story. And just like Ben Crump said, this sounds like an old school Mississippi lynching. This man didn't just walk out into a wooded area and fall dead. Now, we all know that. So I'm going to dig on this case a little more, but I definitely wanted to get this story out there and make people aware of it. And I will be following it up. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and hit the bell for notifications. You guys have a great day.